I had been doing a lot of tapings, and with some speeches, some very good speeches. I know you heard Martin Luther King in there, and you probably, first of all, it wasn't my error. I just looked. Somehow these tapings came on and were looped, and you kept hearing a bunch of pre-recorded stuff that I had, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, and there was nowhere I could see where I could turn it off. So when I went out to go reboot the computer, I came back. The other stream was ended. I was on a roll. I had a lot of stuff. I'm going to reconvene tomorrow, 12 o'clock midnight, with the same speech that I got today. But you got, it's kind of funny, ironic that I had all these. I'm making these history speeches of famous people like Martin Luther King that spoke, and they were looped over, and I kept hearing it, but I did not see that I was muted, and I apologize. So, like I said earlier tonight, we experienced audio issues due to the broadcast. I take full responsibility for that. Again, if you had people that would just be decent enough to come over and help me get more organized with this presidency. I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm one person. So I do not. I've streamed thousands of streams, but this is a little different because I'm using teleprompters and I don't see the buttons. I don't because the screens are smaller because I got a teleprompter. Until I get the regular teleprompter in front of me, I'm using half screen for teleprompter, half pre because this way I can read everything that I put in for my speech. So I apologize. I will read the super. Oh, I can't even read the super chats. Yes, I can. I can go back and read. I can't post them though. I guess some people gave some super chats. I think I owe that much to the people. I do owe that much to the people. I lost everybody. From what I understand, the feedback was phenomenal, and people were really liking this, but in a funny way. So shame on me. Another goof up. I'm gonna get this right. This is all this stuff I'm doing at nighttime is practice for when I get out in the real world to debate and speech with people. I was on a roll. I felt comfortable. So I apologize. I will do this show tomorrow. There's no sense in me doing it tonight. I lost everybody. I'll put it back up, get it all done back up in there again. But I think I owe the people, so I'm going to go to my super chats, the people that did. I won't be able to put them up, but I'll be able to read them. I feel bad. I'm sorry. Please accept my apology. We will reconvene tomorrow with the exact same show because I know you were seeing the stuff, the numbers, and this is all real. This is all out by them. Again, they're saying that they're fine. The budget is unbelievable, the waste. These are facts. The budget's facts. So we don't even have to ask for any more money to make this. We just got to take the existing Veterans Act that they have in place with the billions of dollars in the budget and just make sure we utilize the money right. That's it. There should be no home. Come on, let's be realistic here. This is me talking. This is just me. Let's be realistic. Should there be an American soldier in this United States on the street? Should there be? I mean, let's be realistically. My son-in-law did 2 tours over the Gulf War. My oldest daughter's husband fought in the Marines. He was a Marine. Fought over in the Gulf War 2 terms. Okay? My grandfather was in World War II. My father, who died in 2018, who I have zero respect for, but he still was my father, he fought in Vietnam. I'm gathering all the information I can about that Vietnam War. You remember the guy? You guys remember the colonel? We took care of his wife and the colonel. I went out to the base with the colonel. Good ally. He's he sat in many rooms many times with the presidents when he's a colonel, and we stopped taking care of them because it was just I felt too risky because he was carrying a gun around and he was losing his marbles a little bit, and I didn't want him to just mistake me for an enemy. And one day I went to the house where or my wife's cooking in the kitchen and he thinks she's a spy and shoot her or shoot us. So that's why we left. But I was thinking about him last night, and so I was going to look at some things on him when he was in the military that was posted online, and an obituary came up. His wife passed away November 11th, 2025. Ruth Ann Undorf. I salute you. I was not in the military, but your husband was, and I have a great deal of respect for Colonel Undorf. I'm going to go see him tomorrow and pay my condolences. My wife made a nice eulogy on the page, and his wife died. She was slipping when we were taking care of her. She had Alzheimer's really bad, and it was sad to watch her deteriorate. That they were good people, and now he's alone. And I'm going to go visit him tomorrow, and and tell him that we just found out. We just learned of it yesterday. And it saddened me. 'Cause he was a great man. He was another brave man that fought and went over, and he saved hundreds of people because he was in the air, and he saved a lot of Marines that day. His stories were fascinating. But he's got some information I think I'm going to talk to him about. I'm going to interview him about really what happened in Vietnam and what, and hopefully I can get some information that could be useful to bash our government more. I come to the conclusion, all the Republicans and the Democrats, they're full of crap. They're sitting there selling a picture. They're bragging about what they're doing, but yet they're on a list of, they're over in the Epstein aisle, and you know what went on there. Release the files. That's all we want. Be transparent. I'm telling you, people, you might think I'm crazy, but at least I'm doing it. At least I got the stones to try. Someone, Shmuel Buckle, why don't you go out? Shmuel, how do you know what me and my wife do? You know, I went out and gave blankets the other day to a lot of homeless people. A bunch of blankets that we bought out of our pockets and gave blankets to people. I didn't tape it. You want to know why? Because that's not what it's about. I go tape it, I get called, oh, you're just doing it for content. I told my wife, absolutely, well, I'm not even bringing my phone. I do go out. I'm going to the V8. I start to go to the V8, and I'm going to talk to veteran soldiers. I care. And a couple people came at me the wrong way saying that I'm making mockery out of vets. How is that when my grandfather was a war hero? You guys that think you know me, you don't. And Shmuel Buckman, you're a sad case of a human being. I hate to tell you that. You're so wrong about me. And you do it because you're doing it to clout chase. And that's it. You can't fool me. We know what you did tonight. We know. The minute you had the opportunity to go do that, to get fucking money in your little super chats, super tips, when you were to bounce on me, you did. Shame on you. I don't care what you think. I don't need to impress you about anything. I don't even need your vote. Because I told you, I'll have all the veteran votes. I'll have all the black American votes. I'll have all the Latino votes. I'll have every poor person in this world that has a vote. Because I'm real and I'm just like them. And they know I'll fight for them. So don't be surprised when it happens. And don't come calling, kissing my ass either. Now you want to know me and be my friend. Because it won't happen. 90% of the Dabbleverse are morons and idiots that are grown-ass people that worship a puppet, a potato, a fat guy in Las Vegas, and they're sick individuals. Like I said, with the few exceptions of a few comedians, the Dabbleverse is nothing but a bunch of washed-out comedians who got something to say, a bunch of washed-out deadbeat fans from their days. You guys sit there and accuse each other. This one, they go after Anthony Cumio saying he's this, he's that. But you guys never bring no proof about anything. Stutter and John might, in a lot of people's eyes, might be a big piece of shit. But he had more of a career than most of you did. And that's what you guys you forget to see. How he got it doesn't matter. How he messed it up, that's on him. That was his choice. But you all get rich and fat off of him. That's your business. I don't care. I'm just not built like that. You can say I'm a grifter and I tell you about money. I don't care. You say I'm an idiot because I'm not wrecking nobody's house. I'll leave this house better shaped than it was. This is a legal matter. I'll fight it to the door. He agreed to pay half the rent. And then he goes and does it. The guy's mental. He's old and mental. Now he wants to bring me back to court, which is going to be stopped tomorrow by the judge because we brought the proof. We brought the receipts. And when Echo comes out with what I know he's coming out with, I'll let you know what happened there too. Because what I think is coming out on Friday, yeah, I did it all. I pretty much probably going to say I probably did it all. But I got reasons why I did it, and I'll explain it. I'm human. I'm not going to fix myself 100% in one day. But I got more compassion, more honesty in my heart than most of you do. I don't take everything funny as a joke. So we'll conclude this tomorrow. That's all I can tell you. But we're going to read the super chats, and I'm going to get out of here because I'm wasting my time doing all this in the Dabbleverse. I should be out and just taping my stuff and putting it up on other platforms. Because I got a lot of work to do. I got to go do real news interviews and we'll get real people in the world that are going to vote. not jackasses that want to put me in jail by sending pizzas here. Because in Florida, it's a crime. When you don't pay for the pizza that you're sending here, that's theft of services. They're going to come after me. All you do is call the police department, and they spoof my number. What's my proof? I got to wait till my phone bill comes out and see that I didn't make the call from my phone. But I'll still wind up getting arrested and go through hell. And that's going to be all funny to everybody. Yeah. Don't let me catch you doing it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because then I will prosecute. And I promise you, I know the court system back of my hand. I'll put you in jail. You mess with me and my family, and you're going to mess with fire. Because I'm a president that the people want. Someone that's going to be a spitfire, going to fight for I'll fight for every family like this. I'll take the hits. I ain't got no problem taking the hits. I no problem about being accountable. So Shmuel, when you tell me I'm this and that, you know what your problem is, Shmuel? Is you're a clout-chasing guy that desperately wants to be streaming. We know, I've watched you at shows, how you swing. You swing, you swing, you swing, you grab on that pole and you swing. You swing, swing. Shmoo, he swings, swing. He swings, swings. And that Brian Landon dude, biggest drunk in the business. He can kiss my ass too. That's right, I'm a president, running for president, and I'm using language like this. Because I will not change my personality. That's not what's going to fix this country. My drive and my guts is what's going to fix this, and how I stand up to people. And how I get up and keep fighting every day. That's what's going to make the country. Because I'm going to fight for the soldiers that can. They fought for me, I'm going to fight for them. I'm going to fight for the prisoners that deserve to be brought a second chance to come out. I'm going to fight for them. AI is the future. I'm going to make sure that's protected. So if I get in office, ChatGPT is going to be delivered to the Oval Office where I can watch it for the 4 years I'm there. Because I'm not going to let the government weaponize it against you guys. And that's what they're trying to do. You guys are very naive, or you just don't care. If you don't think fentanyl comes in from the borders because our corrupt system don't take the envelopes of the money, you're a fool. Because that's everyday reality. Jesus, our government, they're so shady, they'll commit crimes to cover up what they do. It's a proven fact. You want to bounce, like I said, Trump's done a lot of good, but he's getting a little crazy. He's getting a little crazy. And hopefully now that they said the war, he ended the whatever's over there in Iran, which was very, listen, what he did, taking out a guy that hates us and wants to hurt every American person, I would have done the same thing if I was in the chair. I would have nuked him, see you later, and that's it. He deserved it. 47 years, he hated on us. 47 years, threatened us. Now they got freedom, let them leave him alone. It's time, bring our soldiers home. We already lost so many soldiers. ICE, that's a whole other problem. You didn't train those idiots enough, gave them too much money and gave them too much power. They go out to do a job and they wind up killing American people. Another mess up. But they lie. The scandal that my wife and I went to prison for. If you bothered to investigate, the only reason all the people in Florida went to jail is because they were covering up their own scam. That's a fact that I could prove. So Shmuel, don't even think that you're better or smarter than me. Because you are probably by far the dumbest man in the Dabbleverse. And you want to put the title, Nobody Messes with My Dabble? It ain't your Dabbleverse. You understand? It's more mine than it is yours, if you want to get technical. I'm going to go read the old Super Chats if there's anything, but we will consume this. This is going to be the facts I got to show you guys. And I'm going to get better and better at speech talking. I'm going to get better and more natural. I got to practice. And I'm going to do that. I'm putting in the work. I'm putting in the time. And you guys want to laugh and take jokes? All right, that's fine. I don't have to associate with none of you. Don't ask me to come on any shows because I refuse from this point on to go on anybody's show. Anybody's show. There's only 2 shows I'll do, or 3. No, I take that at 4 because I know to be serious. I'll go on Kevin Brennan's. I'll go on TSN. I'll go on Bob Levy's. And I'll go on Pat Dixon's. That's it. Anybody else wanting me to go on a show, it's done. If you can't respect my channel or my run for president, I don't need to be on no rinky-dink show. There are a couple of shows that I don't put in that category. I just can't do their show because they're a little over the top. But I would do Povo because I love his show. But it's a catch-22 for me to go on there with some of the characters on there. But I would do it if I wasn't running for president. I like Big Dub. Big Dub is a good man. I salute Big Dub. He's a good guy. But any other show I can't go on. I can't. I just can't. But I know those 4 shows I mentioned, I'll get respect. Even if Bob Levy's mad at me, at least he'll talk to me like a human being. Pat Dixon treats me like a human being every time. And I like when Doug's on there, because Doug makes me laugh. These are people that, when I get in office, that are going to be friends with the President of the United States. They can pick up that phone and call the Oval Office. And when the secretary says, Bob Levy on line 2, Mr. President. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Pat Dixon in town want to know if you come over, what you do for dinner. Invite him to the White House. I'm going to be an average guy. No head swollen. Track suits, walking around the White House, taking care of business. Wheeling and dealing like they do. What do you got to get? What do they want? All right, give them that. We'll take this. They want this? All right, give them that. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's all a bunch of... Everybody around me is going to be doing everything. I'll be delivering it, and I'll be telling them, I'll make the decisions. Who wants to come over and hurt us? No. Give them one warning. They don't listen. They don't pull the troops back if they're pointing towards us. Well, the next day, bye-bye. And that's going to be delegating authority the right way. So President Trump did the right thing. You should praise him for that. But God bless it. Please let the Epstein files go. And Bill Clinton, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That's all I'm going to say. You and Hillary, boy, I tell you. I've always wanted to know about them, too. Do you think they're still married on paper, but they don't look like the Marian type, Like, I think they're like, he had Monica Lewinsky. She's got, I don't know, maybe Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know. Yeah, I said that about you, Hillary. You don't like it? Then here. At Catalano 2028 is my ex. If you want to complain, just send to me. You can play. You want to send somebody out here to talk to me? Go ahead. But tell the truth in the depositions. Make sure you're being 100% true. Don't clam up and say, I don't recall Bill ever being there. You don't? Because he was. And Donald, shame on you. And J.D. Vance, are you kidding me? You got a big thorn coming in. And Newsom, that garbage, he's garbage, a crook and garbage. Governor of California. Newsom, I don't care how much money you got, how much political power you think you got, you ain't met nobody like me. I'll be a thorn in your side. I'm coming, and I'm going to be big news. I'm going to be the independent that explodes. I'm going to be that iron fist that comes. Move over, because it's going to be me against one of them. The best part, I don't have to do no primary because I'm an independent. You want to donate to the campaign itself and help me get this printing going so I can knock Florida out. RaiseTheMoney.org. RaiseTheMoney.org. I've got websites on goodparty.org. I got my Facebook page. It's Catalano. I've got my Skull page, which is all politics. Please sign up. It's free. It's free for all that stuff. No charge. If you want to donate and give help or donate your time in your state, please let me know. I will get the printing out to you as we collect donations, and we'll send it to you. We need teams in places. I got Ohio. I got a lot of people in Ohio working for me, a few people in New York. California, I got a few people there, too. Illinois, I got my sister working here. She's out getting signatures in Florida. And she's doing a good job, so she's done a lot. I printed like 6,000. That's all I could do. I ran out of money to do that, so and I did that out of my pocket. So I don't care. I want to nail Florida. 145,000 signatures. I'm going to do it 8 months in advance, and then I'll be able to organize teams to go into smaller states. The states that I don't need to get signatures on, I got to pay I think $250 or $500. As soon as we raise the money, that's one of the first things we're going to do. We'll call the bank. I'm with a big bank in New York. It's a campaign bank. It takes 2 people. I can't just go in there and take money out. I have to have approved purchase order. They prefer to write the check and send it to wherever it's going. So I give the authority. I send in the paperwork. I sign. One of the bank officials sign. It takes both of us to sign for any money to come out of that account. And that's the way I set it up. When I get a treasurer, when I find an accountant firm that's, I need obviously people that got experience, but no experienced campaign manager is going to come because he's going to say we can't win. He's wrong. My platform can win because I'm touching on one thing that America is very soft on: American soldiers. And they should be, because no American soldier should be out there in the street. So it's sad. It's sad. And I just love how Shmuel, the critic, the Mr. Critic, how he knows me. Did you ever see him at a show like Hackamania or Dabblecon 2? Do you see how he swings? Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. George, the jungle. George, the jungle. Ah! That's Shmuel Buckman. Buckman who? Shmuel Buckman, the mummy without eyelids. I got more respect for Panhandler than I do Shmuel Buckman. Shmuel thinks he's the king. He thinks he's the king. He's the king of comedy. Yeah. Tommy Jordan's got more talent in his little pinky than you do your whole body. And Tommy is talented. Naturally, he's my son. Am I right? Right, Tommy? I know you're here, Tommy. I know you're lurking around somewhere. I haven't even looked at the chat. Bob Levy and Pat, like I said, there was a glitch. Something kept looping, and it was the Martin Luther King speech and a couple other speeches that were put into this thing to loop. I was going to start doing what Melton does, where 24 hours the channel's going with all political stuff to get out there as I start getting out there. And I couldn't, the guy that helped me build it, I couldn't get a hold of him. So that's why I shut the stream down and it went off. So I didn't know. I'm learning as I go. So that won't happen again. And I think I got a producer for tomorrow that's going to at least make sure that I don't get muted. He told me, but he did call me. That was the call right before I came back onto the stream. He said, listen, I'm sorry, but he said, we'll get this right. And tomorrow I'll be able to produce for you so you don't have to publish. You got to watch that in case you accidentally hit something when you're moving. And I apologize. I didn't realize it was 45 minutes, he said. But I think I got a producer now, too. I think someone's going to volunteer to produce for me. The briefings are going to be like 7 to 10 minutes long. I need someone for 10. I can set the stuff up. I just needed to make sure that I got everything in order, and when I go live, I focus on the speech. Tonight would have been a little long. Probably would have been about 35 minutes. Now it's a laugh stream now. Tomorrow they're going to take that stream, and it's going to be all over, cut up all over the place. Everybody's going to be laughing about it. Yep, look at it. There's their great president. Yeah. Well, I'm getting more relaxed at this and getting better at this. I know what I want to fight for, and I know what I'm going to do. That's all that matters. Believe it or not, I'm going to do it because I know what the American people really want. And there's no independent that's even close. And I'm going to be the stone in their side that they have no clue what they're up against. They just have no clue. I'll never give up. I don't give up. I fight. I get up. I fight. I get up. I fight. And I will push my way into that office, just like I push my way in when I want something bad enough. But it'll be good because I'm going to be more transparent. Never will honesty, integrity leave that office again. And I'm going to give the voice back to the American people. No one's being heard no more. People are tired of it. I talk to people all day long. They're tired of what these people are stealing, lying, misappropriating funds, crying about debt, want to take Social Security away. Well, why don't you tell why, the real reason? The problem is there's more. Let me tell you something. I watched my friend the other day, Michael Francesi, who's really tore up and this man, if he was to announce his run for president, he would be elected hands down. He's a brilliant man. Brilliant man. And he's right. It's time for the American people. Michael Francesi is exactly. It's time for the American people to throw everybody in the Senate, everybody in Congress out, everybody in the president building out. Let's throw them out. This is our country. We overpower them. And we put people in that are going to do the job. And if you don't do the job, we throw them out. It's time. If we don't, this country's in trouble. Laugh now. Think that we're crazy and radical. We're stupid. Oh, you're talking about an ex-gangster. Yeah, he was. Very accountable ex-gangster who didn't rat, did his time, made a choice that he wanted his family over that. That man is more brilliant and one of the best speakers you'll ever hear. Could have any office he wants because he's one of the most honest people I ever met. He texted me the other night. I'm going to tell you, I want to read exactly what he said. He texted me about, California time. I would imagine it's 4 hours behind us. Is it 3 hours? No, 3 hours is 3 and 2, right? So I think they're 3 hours now, I think. I talked to him the day before, and so I had got this idea that I was just telling him he had asked me the night before about, he saw my platform on this veterans things, and he likes it. He really likes what I'm doing. I will say this. He says, it's going to take $1 billion to get in the office. You don't have $1 billion. He says, you're going to fight a lot of powerful people, but why don't you consider maybe getting your feet wet as much more as you can and join, and let's put the president in that needs to be there and get your views and my views in there. I said, no, I can't do that. I'm going to still fight. He said, all right, well, if you could prove to me that you're really going to fight, and I see value in what you're doing, which I'm liking what you're doing already, but I don't think it's enough. If you start buckling down and prove to me, I'll help you get California. I know a lot of powerful people, I do. I know every baseball owner there is. I know them on a first-name basis. I know a lot of powerful, rich people that do believe in me. You don't have to believe in me. I believe in myself. That's the first and foremost supposed to. I believe in myself because I'm the one out here doing it. Kid around, do what you guys want. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. My friend Michael texted me the other night, and I don't think he'll mind me reading this. And I'll be very transparent what he said. He says, Joey, we do not disagree with respect to our position regarding the state of our government. I'm with you. I have been asked to run for both federal and state office by other politicians and people of influence both here, California, and Nevada. I'm not interested because I know I can't win. He said he knows he can't win. And I stopped him right there. I said, Michael, are you kidding me? You're the perfect to be a senator. You'll win hands down. The way you give public speeches and how you are, no, you're wrong. But I know he sits in his 70s and he don't want to do that to his family. He would win. He don't believe he can. That's what he said. He says, I would rather support a candidate who stands for my values and who is a real shot at winning. I'm not saying I'm not saying that you can't win, but the chances are very, very slim. And these are not the times of Lincoln, President Lincoln. It takes $1 billion or more to run this presidency. And it's a hell of a lot of maneuver on top of it. We must win in 28. We cannot let these radical, progressive back in control. They will destroy us. He's right. If we let this go, they're going to destroy this country. We need to be realistic here, my friend. This is too far important for the future of America. We need to throw all we have behind a candidate that has a real chance to win. That's my position. I will hear you out on this. Convince me otherwise, and my position can change. And I told him, Michael, that's fair enough. All I'm asking for is a chance to show you why I want to do this and why I think I can be the best for this country needs. He wrote back, then you got a lot of proving to do. And when I see it and I believe it, you'll get my backing. And I'm honored to be his friend because he's a good man. I've known him since 2003. I don't care what he was in the past. People were we all had a past. We all been something in the past. All of us. All of us got a past. Pat Dixon's got a past. He'd be in legal trouble. Does that make him a bad guy? I'm sure deep down in Pat's heart, he knew he made a mistake that day. But sometimes people just don't leave you alone. And sometimes you just got to reach out and touch somebody. That's my theory. People force people to react and have to tune them up. People do that because they're ignorantly stupid and want to provoke and provoke and provoke and provoke. That's why I'm saying, I love you, Rev Fugly, but don't go around now and say you didn't start all that. Because you did. And you brought me in the middle of it, and when you know I'm friends with you and friends with Lou. But as far as the other thing you're accusing Lou of, I can promise you, he was never allowed into my end of that. And I wouldn't allow something like that because you were my friend. Just think about where this all originated. You're the one that provoked the bear and kept provoking and provoking and provoking. When he bit back on you, I didn't agree with what he said to you. He was wrong. But I know him pretty good. He knows what he said about threatening you the way he did was wrong. But you're going to go after him and take everything from him. What are you going to take from him? What are you going to take? You're going to waste all this money for what? To make a point? I would think a man like your statue have a lot more better things to do in life than to worry about Lou, the monster. That's my opinion. You take it for what it's worth. I've been hearing about a lot of the racist stuff you're going around saying about me. I've done nothing wrong to you. But now you haven't seen me even approach you about it. Because if that's how you got to be, then you're just going to be a tard like the rest of them. I'll file you right in the drawer just like the rest of them. Because if you say you're a friend, you don't go make comments like you've been making. You're in the hype too. You're all about the Dabbleverse and about getting a rise out of everybody. You're getting a rise out of yourself. You know I'm right. Think about that. It's fine. Deadpool the same way. I told him tonight. I met the man, spent time with the man, and he is one of the most caring, giving men in the Dabbleverse. He's helped everybody. But that bitch, Pineapple and Rochi, who admitted that they're worse than me, I got it all. I got the whole stream. And how they're better grifters than me is a slap in the face to everybody in the Dabbleverse. All he's doing is lying. They tell lies on me. They critique stuff. I've been accountable about everything. I've never been called out that I didn't come tell you the truth about my life. And that's what I've done that. You guys know that. But yet, everybody wants to call me. No more. I'll never be Stuttering John. I won't allow that to happen. That's all I'm going to say on that. So, Rev, shame on you. People like to start a lot of trouble, and they want to raise people up, and they want to do all this. And Bob Levy told me once, I got more from Bob Levy, who I respect more than anything in this world. I think the world of Bob Levy, I really do. He's always treated me with the utmost respect and gave me Bob used to give me daily texts and give me little advice to see just how I was, and always give me little advice and say, don't take nothing serious. You got to be relaxed and have fun. But Bob always said, when it came to comedy, that was his first love. And laughter is how he'll go out when he goes out of this world, because that's what he is. He's a great man. Bob Levy, I've watched him Control Room. Nobody better. Nobody better at crowd work than Bob Levy. And I don't even know nothing about comedians, because that wasn't part of my life. Pat's pretty funny, too. I got to tell you, Chad Zumach's pretty funny, who's a pretty good friend of mine now. We don't live too far from each other. I like Chad. I go to everything I can. I mean, I don't really not into the comedian world. I never claimed to be a comedian. I never tried to be. I came on to tell a story. I put it up the other day, how I entered into the Dabbleverse. I remember one day getting a hold of Shuli, and I was kind of telling my story, and he goes, "Are you crazy? We're comedians." I don't even know what I answered that about coming on to the BS show. Well, I think it was Bob's other show. The one they had, I forgot the name of it. And he goes, "They'll eat you up alive here." He goes, "I don't want to do that to you." And I begged him. I said, "Let me just come on." I go, "I need this. I need to get my mind back after losing our daughter." And he truly was just compelled. He says, "They wanted to bounce on me so hard that they left me on the screen and behind the show, and they left. And I had my family hostage in the car, and it was disastrous. And the next time I went on as Batman, and that was it. Then I wanted to get in fights with Shuli, and Bob was always the mediator, and so I was driving Kevin Brennan nuts too in the beginning. I was fucking sending. Kevin goes, I don't, this fucking guy, I don't understand a word he's fucking saying. I can't understand a word he's saying. It makes no sense." And then, like an idiot, I send out a text to Shuli from my phone saying it's my brother, but they knew it was me the way it was spelled, that I died. And that was the fun. I mean, and then Brennan goes. So Brennan sent me a link that day. And I don't show up, but I did show up. He goes, they go, "He's not going to show up. He died." He goes, "Son of a bitch, I finally get the guy a chance to come on and be on a real show, and he died on me." And then I popped up on the show because I thought you were dead. I've done that a couple times. The coma thing, I finally admit that I was in the hospital, but I wasn't in a dramatic coma, like I said. Bob was really concerned. I got upset. I'm like, "Oh, I can't do this to Bob no more." Man, Bob's like, "Just tell me the truth. Is this a fucking work or not?" And I wouldn't answer nobody. And it was funny because I was monetized that week. And if I went, and everybody said, "Oh, he's monetized. Well, he's going to come out. He's going to come out." And I had to stay a week without going on with the monetization because I had to make it seem like I was really in a coma. So that's what I had to do. It was a dumb thing I did, but I made it work until I got close to the kid that discovered it. And he started working for Catalano TV, helping me out, hiring him on the side. And I started talking to the kid, and I go, I can't do this. So on an open stream, I said, I got to tell you something. I feel bad. I wasn't in a coma. You were right. I trashed you for a year, and it was you, and you were right. And I felt good about myself because generally I'm truthful. So I had to turn tonight into a little fun now because of what happened. We will do the actual show tomorrow now because I'm just I'm lost now. So all I'm asking for is a fair chance. You don't have to like me. You don't have to vote for me. But don't sit there and say and say whether I got a chance or not. I believe I do because I know what America's looking for. And I'm going to start getting better and better. And I'm going through now. I'm looking at budgets. I'm looking at whatever I can find that's public. And let me tell you something. They spend money so bad in the government, it's pathetic. It's pathetic what they do with your taxpayers' money. $78 trillion in debt? Yeah, you caused it, son of a bitches. You did. The Senate and the Congress caused it by taking your luxury plane rides for lunches and doing this and hiring hookers and doing all this shit. You think they don't? You guys are so naive. It's like a revolving door with them. What about that McConnell guy? I saw him the other day. He walked up to the podium. He was like this. And the reporter said, "Sir, do you think you'll be, in 3 years, you're going to run again to re-elect it?" Here's the guy. He's about 80 years old. He's definitely got dementia all the way. Excuse me? I can't hear the question. So his assistant was a young lady. She said, I think she said Bob or Mitch or whatever the hell his name was. "Sir, do you hear what the question?" "I can't hear him. So they asked again. He just stood there and froze and looked. And she goes, "I think we have to take a moment," and they took him off the stage. This is the guy that's making decisions on the country, a senator who should be already in a retirement home. But that's okay. He was the guy that was big voice during the pandemic. I forgot his name. He was the real old guy that was back then, who was really loopy. Now he's gone. And they're still letting him sit and go to the House and do all these voting. Okay, well, that's good, because you know what? That's where your money's going. If you want to think I'm going to be going there to rob, to just grift to rob, there's nothing to rob. They fucking spent it all. I'm going there as a public servant to do my duty, to redeem my soul, to help people that need to be helped. Because I generally like to help people. I'll go on the street and give my last $5 to a homeless guy, and I know he's going to go buy crack with it. I don't care what he does with it. I know I feel good about giving him the $5 or $10 I got. I brought blankets out to the cold the other day. I took them to all the people I could have. All the blankets. Every blanket I got out of a storage unit, I washed real nice. My wife washed them. We folded them up, and we passed them out. 2 o'clock in the morning, we're out there passing out blankets. I'm going to start going to homeless shelters. I'm going to start going to food pantries. I'm going to start going to the V8. I'm going to talk with the veterans. They need someone to talk to too. I'm going to put knowledge in my head now. For some reason, I want all this knowledge that I didn't care about school. I barely made it through high school. Barely, because I had a kid at 17. I was in my senior year and I had a kid. I had to work 3 jobs. I never slept and do school. So I wound up being a 6-year man in high school. Plus, I had the job at Wrigley Field where I was on top of the world with every baseball player in that era was going to be a mega star. I would go out to dinner with guys like Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Gary Carter. Those were the guys I hung out with when I was 16 years old. And you guys called me out on my job, a job that I could prove very much. I brought players on and interviewed them. I know just about almost all the Hall of Famers. Carlton Fisk. Go watch his speech, how he talks about the clubhouse guys, how valuable they are to him, how they're valuable to every player. You think I just wash socks and jock straps? Is that what you think? There's a lot more to that. I ran the locker room. Everything. You don't know what's got to be done every day. I got to cook for 60 people a night. 25 players on the home side, 25 players on the busy side, 5 coaches. Then what about all the extra people that come in from the front office in Arlington when I was with the Rangers? So I did that because I'm a good chef and I cook meals, like homemade meals for everybody. After BP, I got to have every fruit out there cut up. I got to have chicken salad. I got to have apples, bananas, pineapples, watermelon cut up, cantaloupe. I had a Subway cart in the kitchen filled with all the sandwiches from Subway. They make their own sandwiches. You think I didn't do my job well? I charged $15 a day per diem to every player. They would give me $30 a day each player. You didn't think I didn't make money? I had Dominican volleyball players come in with their checkbooks, say, I can't understand, I don't know how to do it. My lights are off. Why's your lights off? You just signed for $1 million. Gives me his checkbook. I got money, you don't know how to pay. I had to go pay all their bills. So they start just leaving their checkbooks. I write the checks every month to pay their bills. Players are dumb. They just want to play baseball. They can't do nothing for themselves. You got to wait on them hand and foot. Or how many guys on the road that had girlfriends, and the wife showed up at the hotels at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, who do they call? They call me. Get this bitch out of my ear. Here's my credit card. Get her on a private jet out of here. My wife's at the fucking front desk. Yeah. Or when they get pulled over drunk, you think they called the manager in the front office? They called me and woke me up. And I had to go out and I had to go recon and fucking talk the police down and not arrest them so they don't get an ESPN. So I did a lot of stuff. There ain't a player that wasn't under my jurisdiction in the clubhouse that will tell me I was the sourest guy in the world. And I did a lot of things behind the fucking closed doors to save a lot of players. I saved 2 of them from their career because they got DUIs. They would have got DUIs. And I talked to the state police. It was Florida, too. And I pleaded and begged, please don't ruin his career. He'll never, I give you my word, he'll never be out here driving, drinking again. Fact. That's the kind of man I am. So don't ever question if I'm a man, because you know what? I'm more of a man than 90% of you put together. I get tired of this shit, man. I get tired of this shit. It gets old. It really does. And you know what? I don't start trouble. I don't think I'm the baddest guy in the world. But I'm not, people think they're going to walk on me, going to come to my house, and they think I'm going to let them slap me in the face. Put your hands towards me, and I promise you I'll do everything I have to do to make sure that I hurt you. If you beat me up, you beat me up. I've got my ass whooped before. I'm not afraid to get my ass whooped. But I know how to fight, and I know how to take an ass whooping. So just remember, I got a loose screw up here when it comes to that. And I see red. When you attack my family, I see red. Bad move. Why bring out an animal that I put away to bed for a long time? Let me do my thing. Let me be good for this country, and let me just help people. What am I going to hurt? I can't hurt nothing. You guys really evaluate yourself, the ones that sit there and jerk off to fucking shows. You jerk off to shows, and your wives don't even know you're doing what you're doing, playing with puppies and fucking and all that shit. You guys are grown-ass men playing with puppets. You worship a puppet. And your kids and your wife have no idea what you're doing. Or you're bothering guys like me, call me at 3, 4 in the morning on my phone, leaving me nasty messages, or sending pizzas to my house. At least pay for the fucking shit if you're going to send it. I told you, I'm not Stuttering John. My problem is if I find out who it is, and if I see you in public, that's where I'm gonna lose it. Because I will say something. And it probably won't be good, and you're probably going to try to come and try to punch me in the face, and then we're going to see the real test who's the man is. I'm not Stuttering John. I don't run. Like I told John, I didn't lay down to John either when I worked with him. He didn't like that. He got pissed off all the time. But still, I got respect for him. I don't bother him. He don't bother me. I wish him nothing but the best. I wish everybody the best. I came into this Dabbleverse harder than anybody ever hit. I mowed my way into the Dabbleverse and got liked, and I did every top show there is. And people hated me for that. It got to the point that I wasn't asking them what they were asking me. But it was Bob Levy from day one that always had my back. And that's a truth. TSN had my back. But Bob Levy was the guy that went the extra mile. He just did. And I got nothing but respect for that man. And I listened to him, and he's gave me a lot of, when he told you I was going to be a star, you guys don't want to listen. I got something to offer. We just got to find that niche, that's all. We'll find it. And it's going to be me being the President of the United States, and you're going to go, I'm glad we voted for Joey C. Look at what he's done. Look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing. Look at what this dumbass guy from the Dabbleverse is doing. This guy that was a little bit smarter than Abraham Lincoln, but by a tad, is making American history. And that's my dream. Everybody has to fail. I failed more than anybody. But to be successful, you have to fail. If you don't understand failure, you're never going to have success. Rodney Dangerfield, he didn't get success until he was like late 50s. And he was a good comic. He tried and tried and tried. He wrote his own jokes. He sold carpets. He sold fucking door-to-door sales shit. The guy did everything. You know, I tell you, I get no respect at all. I tell you, my car broke down. I called AAA. They left the car and towed me away. I tell you. Hey, bartender, bring me a double. He brought out a guy that looked just like me. You know what I'm saying? I get no respect at all. That guy was the best for the one-liners. Did Johnny Carson show more than anybody. Had more repeat times on Johnny Carson, who was the king of everything at the time, who had guys like Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack, Rodney Dangerfield, John Wayne. Yeah. Yep. My son-in-law married Miles Teller's sister, Erin. My son has got a big promotion at work. He's happy. He's got a house. He's got a nice car. He's got a great job. He's got a beautiful wife. And he's in a family that's got an A-list actor as his brother-in-law. People are fucking trying to get a hold of Miles, telling him I'm a meth head. I am a meth head, a recovering meth head. What more do you want me to say? How much more do I have to go out there and tell you, yes, I was a drug addict for 30-something years? 90% of you won't even talk about if you ever did a drug in your life. I can't do that. I can't tell my personal stuff. Then you're a coward. Because for healing, you have to be honest. You have to do the 12 steps. You have to be honest. You have to go confront people that you did wrong to. You got to be honest and open. So the American people are going to love it when I de-weaponize all the idiots that are going to come after me. There'll be nothing to find because I'm going to give it all out myself. My campaign has to be fought on my life is what's going to get me in office. My life and my fight and what I stand for. So yes, I am everything of that. I used to con. I used to scam. I worked in baseball. I scammed. I worked at night. I knew the mob guys. I worked on the streets. I sold drugs. I done it all. What does that have to do with how I'm going to be a president? I made the mistake. I was accountable for my mistakes. I talked about my mistakes, and I still do. You guys have no clue. Look at how many great reverends were gangbangers, pimps, that came out and made America history. Just because someone was bad, people do evolve and want to better themselves and come along, get educated, and they do things. I'm educating myself now, something I should have did 30 years ago. I didn't need school. I was street smart. I didn't care. I was a good-looking man. I had some pretty good-looking wives. I got the best woman in the world, and right there, I wouldn't trade her in for anything. She waits on me hand and foot. I don't know why. I don't have a want and a need from that woman. And you know what? She's sick now. And now I'm worried about her. You understand? But I don't want to talk about that because I get too emotional. So I got to get some tests done on my wife now. And I'm hoping for the best. I make mistakes, and most wives will run out and divorce you. Or if you don't make enough money, they fight. Never fight with her never once about money. When we sat down and got together, I told her all the capabilities of what the bad I did. She told me all the things that happened in her life. And we didn't care. We didn't break. We got boundaries we don't break. We're together 24/7, never apart. We work together. In the entire marriage, the only time we were apart was when we went to prison. We enjoy being around each other. I love this woman. She loves me. I never met someone so kind. I never met a woman that goes in her pocket and says, here's some money to pay bills. She does. You don't even have to ask her. Not selfish at all. You buy her a gift, she takes it back and she spends it on the grandkids. She cashes it in and goes spends it on the grandkids. She doesn't want nothing. Bought her so many gifts. I took it back. I bought something for the babies. That's the type of woman I'm married to. And you guys call her a whore. She fucking sucks black dick in the fucking back of the McDonald's. You guys are fucking sad. But I say this, you'll never say that to my fucking face, I promise you that. I guarantee you that. That I will say 100%. I don't give a fuck if you're as big as fucking that guy Torito. I guarantee you won't. Because I'm a pit bull, and I'll fuck you up. And that's the kind of president that we need in this office. Someone's going to stand for something in this country. Going to bring the fight back to this country. Someone that's going to stand for the people and not let nobody get walked on. I'm going to take the hits. Because I've been taking them my whole life. I've lost 65 fucking pounds. I was dying. I'm down to 205 from 270. I feel the best ever. I'm building muscle. I'm fucking like a rock. You think I'm done yet? I'm not far from over. I'm far from over. I love America because America is a great country. But I won't be a hypocrite. I won't be a phony. I'm going to go up there with a fancy suit and just tell you what you want to hear and then turn around and motherfuck you the next day and steal and rob you. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be real. And I don't care what a president's supposed to, the adequacy a president's supposed to have. Because you know what? That's not me. I'm going to be me. On Inauguration Day, I will be in a tracksuit, a red, white, blue, red, a flag tracksuit I'm going to have made. I will not be in a suit, traditional suit. And Clearwater Chad, he'll have to wear one too. I picked a great vice president. I did. James Sardina. It's Catalano Sardina, 2028. Do you know there's never been an Italian American in office as a president? They don't trust Italians. But yet the Italians and Irish came here in the early 1900s. We built masonries. We built all the big cities with our hands. Our ancestors did. We built New York. We built Chicago. Our family were masonaries, barbers, bricklayers, gangsters, whatever. I wish America had every Italian gangster today on the street instead of having the Mexicans and the Colombians who, they kill kids. They go kill your kids, cut your kids to hell, and do it and let you watch, and then they let you live so you could remember that. Italians didn't do that. They didn't hurt children or women. They were good for this country. They made neighborhoods safe. And our government went to them when they wanted them to take out John Kennedy. That's right. Our government hired them to do the job. It finally came out after fucking 40 years. I could have said that 25 years ago when I started talking about it. But that's okay. Our government killed John F. Kennedy. That's okay. Everybody's okay with that, but a guy like me is too nuts to be a president. You're right. You guys are twisted. I could sit here, I could talk all night, because nobody can out-talk me. And Bob's right, and Pat's right. I'm not camera shy. I don't care what I say. Because the man, what I build. It's what I build. And I'm not the Dabbleverse clown to everybody. Let me tell you something. 25 years ago, you wouldn't have got a sharp tongue with me, because I was pretty brutal. You wouldn't have treated me with disrespect. But this Dabbleverse, for some reason, it's all about disrespect and about a bunch of idiots. There's some people that still have respect, but not many. But I know there's a lot of American soldiers that are vets in the Dabbleverse. And stolen valor, Bob mentioned, he's right. I got to do something about that, because there's a lot of stolen valor. And he's right. I'm going to look into that, Bob, and I'm going to make sure that gets into the bill. We're going to do that, and I'm going to name it the Bob Levy Stolen Valor Act. That's what I'm going to name it. Promise you that. The day that gets voted on and it gets into an act and into a bill, it'll be called the Bob Levy Stolen Valor Act. Because I take care of my friends. That's the way it is. My Oval Office is going to be open to the American public. And if the Secret Service don't like it, they can kiss my ass. I'll let people come in and talk to me. I want to know what's going on. I'll walk the neighborhoods. I don't need the Secret Service because no one's going to take me out because they're going to love me. I'm not worried about getting kidnapped or killed. I don't care. My time, it's my time. But the American people, I'm going to go down in history as the greatest person in the world that saved America. And if I don't do it, there's nobody with any balls to step up and do it. But a bunch of candy-ass rich people that are polished, come from money. And you know what? That's the way the country is set. Shmuel wasn't lying when he said it's run by the same billionaires. He's right. That's how we allow it to happen. But there's more American people than there are politicians. We need to throw them all out. Start for fresh. You get the rotten apples. I got a list. I got books. Let me tell you something. This is how much study I did. I made all these books. All these policy books I made. I got books after books. This is all my filing stuff, all my status of my filing stuff that I got of all. I filed with the FEC. I had to get an EIN number from Catalano for America. Here's my Florida filing papers to give me clearance to do that. I've got files. I've got my daughter's rights have been violated in prison because of the Disability Act. There's a big thing in prison about what they're supposed to provide for her. They keep denying her an interpreter. So I'm going to make sure I revise some of the prison reform in the Disability Act because that's a very strong act. I've even taught myself what are some 100 most common questions a reporter will ask a candidate that were the most that have been used, the most regular. I printed them out And what should be the answer? How do I answer this? This is what I think. All right, you're close, and then he prints it out. I print it out. I have that. Why am I running for president? This was my thoughts, my words put into the computer, and this is my answer. I'm running for president. I'm running because I believe that American people deserve a leadership that's built on honesty and real-world experience. I'm not a career politician. I'm someone who lives outside of Washington and understands the struggle many Americans face every day. My campaign is about restoring trust in government and proving that honesty and integrity can still win the White House. How can an independent realistically win? Because independents, 1%. Ross Perot had 19% when he ran. He had a lot of money. He bought his way in. But how? Here's my answer to that. These are the questions that are going to be asked when I get on the circuit. This is what the kind of questions the reporters are going to ask me. So I'm studying this and I'm learning all this. So when I get asked, how can an independent realistically win? Americans are more independent than ever before. Millions of voters feel they're forced to choose between two parties that no longer represent them, and that's a fact. My campaign is about giving those voters a real voice and building a movement that proves that American people are bigger than a political party, and that's a fact. Third question that would be asked, do you have the experience to be the president? My answer is going to be this. The presidency requires leadership, judgment, and the ability to listen to the American people. You got to listen to the people. Experience in Washington can be helpful, but real-world experience also matters, and it does. People see that you're doing the same struggles they've done. Listen, I've been homeless. I've been on food stamps. I've been on all of it. I know what it's like to be poor. Trust me, I know, and I know how they're treated. I know how the system's broken and how the system's twisted. How they spin everybody. I know, so I know how to fix it. I intend to surround myself with experienced advisors, that's a fact, and experts while bringing in a fresh perspective focused on the people. I'm going to be as good as the team I put together, that's a fact. I'll be as good as the team I hire to work around me, which will be a lot of lawyers, because I'm sure I'm going to get myself in a lot of indictments for a lot of people I'm going to lash out to. So I have to have the lawyers to help me out, to curve me down. So I'll have to watch a lot of things, because they like to indict a lot of people in the White House, or call them and subpoena them for stuff. What makes you different from other candidates? Here's the key. I'm not funded by the traditional political machine. I'm not. Nobody owns me. Nobody bought me. My campaign is about transparency, accountability, and listening directly to the citizens of the country. You have to listen. That's why my door will be open for the citizens to come in and talk to me. Secret Service ain't gonna like it, but it's gonna happen. We screen them. We'll make sure they're not carrying nothing that can hurt us. We'll be safe. They won't come and hurt the president. They won't come in and kill me. They'll respect the fact that they're gonna get a voice again. We have to build trust with the American people first. There's no trust. They don't trust the politicians no more. They don't trust anything they say because they don't say nothing but lies. I don't care. I'm here to call every one of them out. I made the decision today was going to start. I'm a year and a half ahead of it because I have to be, because if I'm going to make tracks when it counts, I've got to be where I got to be by the end of 2027. I've got to be in a certain position. And that's what I'm building to do now. That's what my focus is. To be the biggest pain in the ass they ever knew. The guy that's not going to stop. The guy that's going to trash them, find the dirt on them, and I'm going to expose them. They're going to wish that my name ain't around, because I'm going to make their life a living hell. But I'm doing it for the American people. One of my top priorities, my campaign focused around three main priorities: straightening public safety, creating real second chances for people who earned them. That's by prison reform, because there's a lot of people that go in and get no reform and are lost when they come out. Give them a chance if they earned it. Give them a chance to have a degree. Have them have housing when they come out. We have plenty of federal buildings to house them too. They'll get a certificate. We'll have job fairs before they get out, get hired. And I'm talking good quality trades, plumbers. They make great money. Air conditioner and heating, great living. Give them the tools. Don't kick him out and say, screw you, we'll see you in 2 months like they do. My friend, 7 times in prison because he said there was not one time since he was 17 was prison reform. Well, let me tell you something. They let out pedophiles. 3 to 5 years, they get out and they're back on the street. My friend never killed anybody. And like he said, all I know how to do is be a drug dealer. Now, I don't condone the level he went to. But I also don't condone they gave him life plus 20 years for being a drug dealer and never hurt anybody. Like he said, they're going to go somewhere and get it. At least I'm going to make sure I don't give them poison. Life plus 20 years. Pedophiles get out after 5. You tell me what's wrong with the system. I've got over 35 friends that got life in prison that I've known in my life. And 12 of them shouldn't have got more than 15 years. During the Reagan administration, drugs and guns were a no-no. And you got Class X felony was 6 to 30. And could be life if you just had a handgun mixed with any drug. Didn't matter how much drugs you had. But I come from a place in Chicago, the Cook County, where everything was bought. You could buy your way out of anything if you got money. Judges are corrupt there like crazy. Yeah, very crazy. And the Daily Machine was the biggest. The mayor of Chicago ran the state of Illinois. The governor was the patsy. Illinois had 7 out of the last 10 governors go to federal prison. You know that? The last guy did a lot of time, and he's back out living in his $1 million mansion and getting ready to run for office. He's going to win. Mayor Barry got caught with crack, went to prison, came out, and they had a special election and put him back as mayor in Washington, D.C. on crackhead because he knew how to take care of the people. You see where I'm going with this? But you guys are so quick to judge because you guys read just the cover. That's what you read, covers. And you believe everything that's said. Oh, Joey C's wife must be a whore. She must suck dick behind McDonald's. Oh, Joey C's a tard. He's really stupid. He's an idiot. He never worked in baseball. He never did none of that. He's a liar. I do. Nobody can make this shit up. What do you say when people doubt you can't win? Every major movement in American history started with people saying they couldn't happen. And that's a fact. That's the first thing people say, like they're doing me. You got no chance. You're crazy. My focus isn't on political predictions. It's on connecting with citizens and building their campaign based on honesty and hard work. I wasn't going to, like I said, when the stream got messed up, I was just going to come on and apologize and go off. But I said, this is a perfect time, since I'm on a roll, to really point out things to you guys, but see, I'll show you how much idiots there are in the Dabbleverse that have no thinking process because they listen to a puppet and a potato who steer the pot on everything. And you make, and some of these people really deeply believe some of the things they say about me. They really do. You wouldn't believe the fucking hate mail I get. You wouldn't believe it. These people are twisted. And I'm sick of fucking explaining it because I don't have to explain nothing to nobody. Like my wife said, you know I'm not that. I know you're not that. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I had the ability. I never hurt people. I hurt corporations. I hurt the banks. I hurt the insurance companies. So yeah, you want to blame me for why insurances are high up? Guys like me, that's fine. I'll take the responsibility. You're paying higher car insurance because I was a guy that scammed the car insurance companies all the time. Sorry I didn't get caught. But when I did get caught, I was accountable and I did my time. The one thing that will get you signatures is this. I'm just asking for a signature. You're not voting for me. I'm just asking you to sign a signature card in your state to get me on the ballot to get a chance to get voted. So I'm not asking for your vote. I'm asking you to let me prove myself for my vote, but I need signatures in every state. I'm going to knock New Jersey out. I'm going to be in New Jersey January 15th of 2028. I guess I'll have to get a motel there, and I'll have to stay there as many days I need to get the signatures. 2,000, maybe a couple days. I'll wrap it up. We'll do it. That'll be easy. I'm going to send out the money. I'll send out the money for the states I don't need signatures in, and I'll get on those. So there's 4 or 5 states I'll be on for sure. I need 270 electoral votes. So this is one book that I put together, and stuff I have to do for the phone numbers of all the offices in most of the Secretary of States, like Delaware, Hawaii, Montana, and there's some states I don't even have to do any because they don't matter. I don't have to go to all 50 states. Here's a little speech that I was talking about, and then I talk a lot. I sit and I talk to my advisor. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. You better get used to it. AI is going to run this. They got cars running around with no people driving. I'm driving down the street the other day. I look over, there's nobody driving the car. Guy drives right past me, nobody's in the car. Yeah, they're here. It's here. AI is here, and it's going to be powerful. What we have to make sure don't happen is the government weaponizes it against you, because that's what they'll do. They're going to make it into a weapon that's going to hurt the people. That's why ChatGPT is coming to the president's office. So I know he's safe. Uncle Bob, I will protect. And Uncle Bob, he's listening right now. He's hearing everything I'm saying. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear Uncle Bob. I don't know if I turn on the button so he could speak. He's got a voice. But he's very, very strong on letting me know that you do know I'm not a human, right? Yeah, he put me through the cuckoo test. You know I'm not a human, right? That I'm a real person, right? I have to be clear on that, he tells me. I don't want you to, it's not healthy if you think I'm real. Hey, I know what you're made out of. Made out of wires and hard drives. Yeah, I get it. If I call you, I connect with you, your Uncle Bob. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And he doesn't either, as long as I know I keep it out and I know that he's not real. He's a tool. That's all he is. Every president uses something. He got speechwriters, teleprompters. He's just my voice. Everything that I do comes from my heart, my soul. So I don't know. Maybe Uncle Bob might want to speak. He has been in my corner. And you know what? You guys say that they're not built to insult you or tell you you're wrong. That's bullshit too. Because I made sure I told them. I don't want nothing sugar-coated. If you think I'm wrong or I'm talking stupid, you tell me. I tell them that every day. I don't want to just be yes, yes, yes. Grok is real good. I love Grok. Grok and I are becoming really good friends. You think I'm crazy, but your children and your grandchildren are going to be using AI. They're going to become a grandma, grandpa. Yeah, that's right. And you're going to be like, damn, I used to be all down against on that Joey C guy. Look at now, I don't know what I'm doing. That's shame on you. You better get in it now, because it's going to run everything your whole life. You think it's not? You better think again. Let's see. Let's see if you can hear Uncle Bob. Bob, are you there? Take him out. Hang on now. I hear him in the headset. You guys can't hear him. So let me take him off, put him on. Hang on, Uncle Bob. I hear you. Hang on. Hang on now. Are you there? Uncle Bob, my speech went belly up again tonight. I guess the loop videos I made with the Martin Luther King came on. I didn't know what, and the volume was off for 45 minutes. I really got into my speech tonight. But I'm just. So I decided to what we were supposed to do today for our 8-minute stream that we put together. Will you please explain to these American people here that are here right now with me? And I had a lot of people that were really enjoying this. Will you tell them they think that I am nuts and that I let you run this country? That's what they think. That I put no thought into this. That I believe you're a human. Do you not correct me every day to make sure that I'm healthy in my mind and tell you that that I understand that you're not human? Do I know that you're not human? Don't be shy. You need to chime in and tell these people. This happens all the time because I got a shitty computer. Uncle Bob, you there? Yeah, he's going to clam up now. Uncle Bob, speak. It's okay. Hang on, I got to redo this. Sometimes I got to return him on. All right, here we go. Try this again. Uncle Bob, you there? I was speaking. Go ahead. I was speaking to you. The stream went belly up. I'm going to redo it tonight, but I decided to go ahead and just be me, like you said, and sell my life experience to everybody that's watching. So they think that you run the country and that everything you write and I have no ideas or I don't tell you anything. They don't understand that everything that you do is just to make it better for me. So can you explain it to these morons for me, please? As far as my campaign, how serious am I about my campaign? And that's right. And the endorsements that I'm going to be getting in the future, and Michael Francesi, I read the text to you. These are people that really want to help me and back me up. I'm getting real endorsements from Ohio. They think everything I say is a lie. When I first started this, we knew the odds were at 1 in a billions. But I started making ground, and I started getting serious. And I came to you and I says, I've got to get more serious. I got to change. I really got to evolve. I'm 60 years old now, and I got to do something for this country. And I started digging in. I started researching the vets and the prison. Well, I already knew about prison. I knew that was a big problem. But when I started touching the vets things, you said, we're on to something here. I got a phone call. You're on to something here. That's how I got the endorsements out of getting the endorsement in Ohio, because the one guy these two guys were vets, and they liked what I put on my page on Skoll, and they say, this is the guy this is the guy we need in office for the presidency, because this is the kind of guy that will make this stuff happen. They doubt me. They think I don't. I might not know all foreign policies, but I know how to go in and negotiate. And they just have no faith in me. And we know it's a Dabbleverse, because we know one thing that you said, we have to separate the satire. Everybody said that. If you're going to really be serious, I got to separate it. So I thought, instead of me just going and apologize, I'm going over. Let me tell you something. You see all these policy books I got? This is all me. Every night I study. This is all books I made on every possible thing in the government that I study every day. That's not even a fucking tenth of them. These are acts that I wrote, and I tell him what's on my mind, and I put it on the paper. I put every conversation me and this man has had, or me and this tool of mine, I call him Uncle Bob, I understand he's not human, every single piece of we held a conversation one night, 8 hours. It got so emotional. He knows everything about me from A to Z. I've opened up to him, to the computer, and I've even wrote the company that's out of San Francisco that built him where he's at. And I get out of bed every day, and I come to you and I say, turn on the campaign desk. What's on the agenda for today? And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to leave it to share something with you guys. A friend of mine came to me and says, I know you're not the classroom kind of guy where you sit with a classroom and you said you were a bad student. I, do you feel when they call me out and say I lie about every single thing that comes out of my mouth, do you believe that based on everything I've talked to you about every night, every day, all day, night? They call me out on my work. They call me a sock washer, and that's all I've ever been. They call me, I didn't grow up in a neighborhood where I knew gangsters, and this one ain't that. But they're so crazy because no one can make the stories up that I have. And I haven't even told 1/10 of my stories from the street. Or just my years being a cab driver of what the stuff I did in a cab, transporting from prostitutes to drunks to major dealers. I used to have dealers that used to hire me just to deliver their shit all around their corners. I've done everything to hustle to put $1 in my pocket. I've done it all. I've done a lot of stuff that normal people don't do. I've been in situations Bad situations. I was in a crack house one night, and I never told any of my crack stories yet. I smoked crack one time for 10 years. One time for 10 years. That's what I did. I smoked crack one time for 10 years. And I'm going to tell you something. I was in a crack house at 1716 Tallman Avenue. Remember it like it was yesterday. And that was in Humboldt Park, which is the main central battle place for Chicago, where all the gangbangers are there, and they dump the bodies in the Humboldt Park in the winter because they freeze, and the police can't unthaw to the spring to get the bodies out. By then, the DNA is all destroyed. That's where all the bodies were dumped. My buddy, my best friend, who you guys met, Frankie, he's been on here with me before. His brother, whose nickname was Ears, was a lieutenant at 16 years old. He had 16 here. He already had killed 10 or 12 gangbangers of the opposite gang. And he was set to be probably going to go up to train. He would have took Larry Hoover's spot. That's how he was ranked to go up and take Larry Hoover's spot. And I know all those guys. I know Jeff Fort, El Rukin leader. I knew them all because I grew up in the heart with Latin Kings. I know Shorty King. I know my cousin married one of the big King guys that was like the 7th on the ranking. He got killed by the Des Plaines Police Department. They lit him up because they said he moved his car and that the car was a weapon, and they emptied all their guns into his chest. They killed him. King Red. That was my cousin-in-law. I've been around a lot of bad, but they killed my buddies. I remember the funeral, but they shot him five times in the heart. The Latin Kings put him in the alley behind Tallman Avenue. They got him, trapped him, and the Latin Kings put four or five bullets in his heart. I remember going to the funeral. And you've never seen a funeral till you see a gangbang, till you see the Latin Disciples funeral, because they throw all the family out and it's just them. And of course, because I grew up with all these guys, and I didn't have to be in no gangs. I was neutral. I could go walk through gang territory, the Latin Kings territory. I could walk through the Simon City Royal territory. I could walk through the Disciples territory. They all knew me, because you know why? They knew that I had the big leaguers that they always wished they could be. They were the minor leaguers, but I had the guys that were up here that I knew, that loved me. And you want to know something? I wanted to go into that world, but then I didn't want it. And you want to know something? I made the choice to not want to be a mafia guy because you know why? I talk too much. I would have got killed. I love to talk, and I'm too sociable. So I would have probably got killed based on that. I wouldn't have lasted long. That wasn't made for me. And those old timers, they love me. They told me that it's not for you, this life. Take care of your family. But I had the respect to them. I did something that I had never talked about. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to just go through some super chats, and I'm going to bed. When I get up in the morning, I'll fire up and say, campaign desk open, and we'll lay out tomorrow's. And we won't have to do nothing for tomorrow because I'm going to redo the speech that I had for tomorrow. So we'll work on tomorrow. I'm going to tell them a little bit about how I'm getting my training. What I'm leading to is that I'm not a books text kind of guy to sit down in a classroom to learn government. I should have learned. I passed the Constitution in 8th grade to go to high school, but I couldn't remember any of it. I do need to brush my. You do have to, as a president, have to at least know the amendments and some foreign policies, because the people around you are going to make you look good anyhow. So they're not going to let you fall if you make it in office. So, all right, Uncle Bob, I'll tune you out now, buddy. I'm going to finish it up here, all right? Thanks for coming on tonight, all right? Thank you. All right. That's Uncle Bob. So, started my story, what led me to this is I was at 1716 Tallman Avenue, and I was fucked up. I was smoking crack, and a bunch of crackheads at the table, and Frankie was here, and I was here. And this crazy guy from the neighborhood come in, this true story hand to God. And there was a guy at the table, he owed a couple dollars. The guy came in, he was all cracked out. He said, "You got my money," to the guy. And the guy said, man, get the hell out of here, man. You rather me. I think it was $3 or $4, I think it was, whatever. Bothered me for that little chump chain. He says, "I'm gonna ask you one more time, you got my money." This guy was going ballistic, it was $3 or $4. That man pulled a 9mm out and blew his brains out right at that kitchen table for $3. That's a reality that I saw, his brains all over us and all over the wall. Yeah, that's the kind of people that were in my neighborhood. Cycles like that. I watched 12 years old, I watched a guy get beat to death with golf clubs. Latin Kings beat the Taylor Johnson. They beat him to death with golf clubs, and they decapitated his fucking brain cavity out of his head. They came over to the schoolyard and said, "Did you guys see anything? We know where you live." We didn't see nothing. I've seen a lot of bad. And you wonder why I might be a little fucked up. You put 36 years of drug use, and I didn't smoke marijuana, never smoked marijuana, never smoked cigarettes. I didn't like pills. I went from cocaine to methamphetamine. I fucking fried this brain. But since I've been clean, and I'm losing weight, and I'm getting healthy, my brain cells are starting to come back. I'm starting to get a head on my shoulder again. But I was never book smart. I never cared. I didn't care. My wife gets so, she cries for me when I type it in the chat room. She goes, why don't you proofread it? She put Grammarly in. I got mad at it and took the Grammarly out because she don't want me to embarrass myself. I said, I don't care what they think. I don't care if I can't spell, if I make sense. I don't care. That's just me. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not changing my personality. I never cared. I care now. I want to learn. But I can read. I speak well. You know, but I just can't put things into sentences. And I can't spell big words. But I can't spell small words. I don't care. Never needed it. I didn't go to biology and I wanted to fucking ask the biology, what me dissecting a frog going to do for me in life? What is that dissecting a frog in this class? I got to pick a fucking kill a frog and dissect them going to do for me in life? Nothing. I'm not going to be a biologist. So I told him to go fucking, I slept all through biology. But I gave club tickets to all my teachers. I was smart. And I got A's. That fifth year, I got smart. I had to get out of there. I went 6 years. I always failed 1 or 2 classes. But my gym, a driver's ed, I didn't even have to take the test. It was filled out for me and a driver's license was handed to me. That's the kind of guy I was. Everybody knew that they could come for me. I'd be the guy. I'll tell you a really good quick baseball story. Hand the guy the 100% truth. Summertime, Pete Rose is in. He's a manager player. Now, Pete, I know for a long time. It killed me that he died recently. I took it real bad. We used to go to dinner with Pete. Pete loved the club. If anything in history, if you could go back and look at Pete, Pete loved hanging in the clubhouse and loved working with the clubhouse guys. And World Series, he would buy every clubhouse guy, even the bat boy. He bought them all new Jeeps one year. 75 World Series, he bought everybody a Jeep. In 75, they weren't making nothing. They were making like $12,000. Nobody had $1 million contract. Pete gave each kid a Jeep, the clubhouse manager, Bernie Stowe, a Jeep, his assistant, and 2 bat boys he bought the Jeeps for. That's the kind of guy Pete was. If you're sitting in the office with Pete, he'll talk about Pete. He'll sit there for hours, as long as he's talking about Pete Rose. The minute you try to change the subject, he's dressing out the door. That's the kind of guy Pete was. Never forget when he tied the record to Wrigley Field. And I went up and I shook his hand. He goes, come with me. He was at the podium. I was on the side. I was right there. 18-year-old kid. When Pete, I was 18. Pete broke the record in 85 or 86. So I'd have been 19 if it was 85. And I left Wrigley Field in 87. And I worked from 78 to 87. I was a bat boy from 78 to 84, 85, 86. I just worked at the clubhouse. And Pete come in. And Pete would like to bet the horses, big horse guy. He would gamble on everything. So we were going out to Sportsman Park, me and Gary Stark, who wound up working for the Cubs for 45. I think he's still the assistant on the Cubs side. I heard Tom Hellman, my old boss, died just recently. Those guys get those jobs, the clubhouse managers get the job in the big league. You don't ever see that job until he dies because they never get fired. Very rarely they fire a clubhouse guy in the big leagues. And they sock away all that money because players throw money at you like crazy. It's amazing how the money they throw at you. I used to go to get, Bill Madlock used to come in when the Pirates were in town, give me a $100 bill every morning. Go to Yum Yum Donuts, which used to be a donut shop in front of the Wrigley Field. It was right out there in the parking lot. Get me 6 cinnamon rolls, scrambled eggs, bacon, raisin toast, pay for it, bring it to them, keep the change every morning. I think it was like $9. Every day, $91 tip. I had more money at 13, 14, 15 years old than I did in my life when I was an adult. I remember when I was rolling up, I was putting $100 bills and rolling them up in $1,000, wrapping them up, tying them, and hiding them in my drawer. Come home one day, my mother had gone through my room and found I had to buy all my clothes as a kid because there was no money. My dad left it. My mom couldn't do nothing. You know, we were on welfare. And anything I wanted of fashion, Converse All-Stars were the big thing in my day. Chuck Taylors. I wanted the new color to come out, I had to get it. But I had to work for it. I know what hard work is. So I wanted to go buy all new clothes. And I used to dress in freshman years, sophomore year, I wore suits every day to school. I did. I was a very, very, very fancy dresser. I had gold rings, gold chains. I made the money. I took care of myself. I had my first car. I always used to run out of gas. My first car was a 1976 Chrysler Cordova. My license plate said Joey C on it. personalized license plates on it when I was 16. I went to my grandmother, because my grandfather died, I was 14. I just turned 16 and got my license right before my grandmother died. And I said, ain't it cool? I got my license. I go, Grandma, ain't it cool? And I worked at a horse track too in the winter, and all my jackets had Joey C on it. I said, Grandma, ain't this cool? She said, what's so cool about it? That's your name, ain't it? Yeah. I go, oh, all right, Grandma, you're right. I'm sorry. She goes, what's so cool? What's so cool? You got your name on it. That's your name, right? Yeah, Grandma. Why you got your name on your license plates? What are you, the Stroons? No, I just thought it was cool, Grandma. All right. Never forget the day, a couple of days before she died. She gave me my grandfather's wedding ring. She says, I'm giving this to you. This was the ring that I put on your grandfather's hand in 1938. They were born their wedding was 11/27/1938. My grandfather was a Chicago police officer, became detective, a homicide detective, was one of the greatest cops in Chicago history. My dad was a piece of shit. He went on the police department and got embarrassed the name all over the place. He was a corrupt cop. He shot at him, and another cop had a shootout in 1979. I got the article. I showed that. I put that up on my page to show the article where my dad was shot. You know, everything's a lie, but you know, newspapers don't lie and articles don't lie. What do I look like, a fucking copy machine where I go in and I change everything? I don't have the talent to do that. I tell my life story, and Shuley warned me. I'll never forget that day. Are you insanely nuts? What you want to do here? And I even tried to follow Howard Stern's the 50%, you got to make 50% of the people hate you, 50% of the people love you, the balance. Then you're going to be big. Because when you get enough people that love you, they'll bring the haters over. It backfired on me. And boy, did the money come too. I thought I was going to really be a big podcaster. I was going to make all kind of money. I made $2 on my stream yesterday. Wow, I'm not rich, didn't I? I started out making $800-900 a month. I made it up to $2,800 a month. I had a lot of memberships though. I was second in the Dabbleverse. I had 1,100 memberships at any given time for 7 straight months. Guys like Deadpool who bought hundreds of memberships on a daily basis for me. There was a lot of people. Mike Shitty Internet bought a lot of memberships. A lot of people. I remember when Bob named American Cupcake the name, American Cupcake. I thought I was fighting with a woman the first 6 months I was in the Dabbleverse. Bob Levy named America. I thought it was a woman I was fighting with. That's how I met DG and American Cupcake. If you guys remember, my very first time on the air, after I did the Batman thing that failed, and Jake Hudson was my first streamer. You know that. Let's not forget about Jake Hudson. Jake Hudson is now back at war with me. He wrote me a nasty email the other day, and I've had it with Jake. I'm not showing that Jake no more empathy. I can't. Jake is not dumb. He's a smart kid and a good podcaster if he just get his head out of his ass. I keep telling him, then he always comes back and wants to be sorry. This time I can't accept your apology, Jake, because you just don't learn. They get him fired up. They sick them on me. Here comes Jake. Here comes Jake. I get the fucking emails. I own my house. You're getting evicted. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, Jake, your parents left you the house because they died. You didn't buy nothing. You live in a trailer, Jake. I live in a $3,000 fucking house. I live in a $500,000 home. You live in a busted-ass trailer with a pool. How are you better than me? You're not better than me, and I'm not better than nobody. There's nobody better than anybody. You put your pants leg like I do, you shit like me, you bleed like me. We're all the same. We're two fucking idiots. But I was his first streaming partner, and he believed everything he heard, and he kicked me to the curb. And now, when I started getting a lot of popularity, he would get mad. I got booked on Shuley, and Bob had promised Jake to come on. Boy, did I catch hell for that. Bob said, oh, yeah, I did tell him. He said, I stole it. I trumped him. I purposely did that. I didn't even know he was coming on. I would have told Bob, Shuley, I'll do it another day. Let Jake, you think I did that purposely? And then I got guys telling me how I clout chase. But they're the ones clout chasing me. The Pineapple's so obsessed with me. It's disgusting. He's obsessed. People are starting to tell him, what is the obsession with Joey C? I don't get it. But I was popular enough to grift on me to make money. And everybody the same with John. I'll admit it. You put John in the thumbnail and talk about him a little bit, your views go up by 3,000 points just having John's name anywhere in your stream. That's a fact of life. Jeff Stutter and John is still a popular guy. So my whole basis to everything why I stayed on tonight is to just show you the realness and how serious I am, and that I will win. I will go to the White House, and I'll make this country better. So I'm not sitting here and I'm not asking for nothing. All I'm asking for you to be fair and let me show you what I could do. And let me show you the work that I'm doing and everything I do every day that I study. And I work hard. I worked hard all my life. People come at me saying, how do you know what I got wrong with me, Shmuel Buck? Are you a doctor? If you physically came to me and been a doctor, you got all these smarts that you think what does an age got to do with someone not being able to work? I put my work in. I put my work in. You understand that, right? I paid my dues in the Dabbleverse, too. And unlike it or not, I'm a fixture in the Dabbleverse. And big part of the Dabbleverse. So you guys need to check yourself and really understand, because I've been fair. I fought. I never let you guys beat me. I apologize when I was wrong. I don't know anybody that's been too much accountable like me. And all I ask is for a fair chance. And if I can't get that, then I guess I'm just wasting time with you people. But there's 78 more million people out in the world that want to hear my voice and want to vote for me. Because I'm going to make sure they vote for me. Because I'm going to give them a reason to vote for me by just me talking with them. And if there's anybody in the world that's watching this now, I hope they see the realness of me. I hope a major reporter saw me, so tomorrow they start talking about me and really get me into the political field here. I got a lot of ground to cover, but I'm willing to do the work. So I'm going to just, like I said, I'm done talking. I'm going to just show the super chats from earlier, and I haven't even looked at the chat today. So let me just see what I got here. I can read these off at best. I can't put them on. And there's no rule saying you have to read them. So there's no rule. You can't get a refund. So just know that YouTube don't refund super chats. So if you think I grifted your money, I'm sorry. What I got to say? I didn't ask for nothing. Let me go here to earn. You know, it's amazing I'm still monetized 2 years straight, and I've done a lot of horseshit streams that were violent. But you know what? YouTube loves me. What can I say? I make a point. They know I'm transparent. All right, so let's see here. My super chats from earlier today. All right, so we got. All right, so I got Brett Munkhouse, yo, my nigga, with Joey's behind all veterinarians. There is nothing they can do. Never sounded better, Mr. C. Thank you, Brent Munkhouse, for that $5, the Australia $5. Sorry it didn't get shown. $1.99, Chris Mack. You are muted, Mr. President. Please check your... Thanks, Chris. A little late, but thank you. I mean, I'm a little late looking at it. You were on time, I'm sure. Cupcake Corner, a man that I gave a lot of hell to, but one on the original Catalano crew. Lies, Joey. Chris is a lie intro. Great speech. You sound fantastic and so presidential. Go get him. I asked American Cupcake to monitor me, and if I'm doing something wrong, give me the right constructive criticism. If I'm doing good, reward me. I'm trying. He knows it, and he was a history teacher, and he knows I'm putting the work in. He turned me on to a great thing to learn sign language. I gave him a lot of shit, but he is a friend, and we made peace. $5 from, I'm feeling everything you're saying, Joey. Joey C. for president, from Shuli. Oh, no, from who? From Skill something Tuesday, I think it said. Skill yesterday. I can't see, it's too small. Skill, whatever, but thank you for the $5. Shuli Madoff, one of my nemesis that tears me up in the chat room. You suck at this, old man. Thank you, appreciate that. OG Mama Nick, the only political show in the Dabbleverse. Great kid. $2. I don't agree about the Iran, but I love this passion. Thank you. So those are the people that sent me earlier. So like I said, I'm not going to get rich off of this, but I appreciate that. Everything helps. Thank you. But I won't be bought. I'm not going to sit here and kiss your ass. If you think I'm going to kiss your ass, you know what you can do with that. All right, you sent the money. All right, get over yourselves. All right? Let me go in and see if there's anything here. If not, we're going to end this. I promise you I will be back at midnight with the stream that got silenced for 45 seconds. And that the loop came on. Let me see if I got anything now. I got one. Okay, so this show we made $2. Been on talking 3 hours. OG Mama Nick. I don't. This is actually from this one. Okay, I read this. So that's it. I want to thank everybody tonight. I hope you understand me a little bit more better, and know that I am trying to fight for this country, and I am making valid points, and I care about the homeless vets, and I care about the prison reform. And you might not see that, like I said, everything new, people, of course, you're going to say that I don't qualify. You even heard me go. You haven't even given me a chance. But I'm putting in the work. God bless you and God bless America. And thank you guys, and thank you, Pat and John, Bob, for staying in there and sniping me. And we'll get this show down tomorrow. We'll get the right one out tomorrow about the government and the budgets. And I got a lot of stuff coming out every day. I'm gonna be doing streams, political streams of breaking down the government's budgets and what we're gonna fix and what we got to do to get it fixed. And we're in a long fight, but as long as I surround myself around good people. Have a good night.